Today's workout, I'm going to be doing some flexibility and mobility training. I'm going to be doing a complete hanging workout, some handstands and locomotion and flow. I had slap tears several years ago. I've had golfer's elbow and tennis elbow. I had all these injuries after I started calisthenics because there weren't videos like this on the internet which showed the process, not just the end result. So I record my workouts. I do 2 workouts a day, 6 days a week, and I record them and upload them so that you guys can learn from my mistakes. This isn't a tutorial. This is one of my workouts. If you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments. Today I'm starting with some trigger point release with my physio ball because my shoulder's a little bit sore at the moment. And so what I do, I hit a lot of different areas, and I learned all this from a couple of my physio friends, sports physios, when they were treating me for my slap tear in the early days. And a part of the treatment, the vast majority of it was exercises that I had to do, but a part of it, they would do this trigger point release on different parts of my shoulder. And I asked them when they were doing it, exactly what areas they were doing. And they're basically just finding the areas that feel really tight to them, to the touch. And they were really painful, you know. In layman's terms, we call them knots, you know. I've got a real knot here. And they just do this trigger point release in these certain areas, and it's incredible what it would do for the range of motion in my shoulder. And so because I've been suffering a little bit with a little bit of shoulder pain lately, I think I tore a few of the muscles in my shoulder a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to revisit some of these. I used to do these every day in the earlier phases of my... Whoa, that's really painful. When you get a good one, it really takes your breath away. Woo. And I just go right down. So if you look at where your lat actually originates, the origins of the lat, it goes from T7, so thoracic 7. Oh my God, that is brutal. Man, it takes your breath away when you find a good one. And it goes right down to your pelvis, to your iliac crest. And so the lat, there's so much of shoulder pain and discomfort is due to tight lats. Oh God, this is really taking my breath away. Oh. And so what I'm doing, I'm basically finding the spots that are really sore, and then I'm putting as much pressure on it as I can. So when I find the spot, if I find it, oh, there we go, there's another one. And then I try and get as much weight on the ball as I can handle. Oh, and hold it for about 10 seconds. And I really can't speak when I'm doing it. It's like, you know, if you've ever had a good sports massage or physio session when they find those spots and they kind of tell you to just hold on and suffer through it. And it's so uncomfortable when they're doing it, but afterwards you feel incredible. It's that same kind of a thing. Oh my God. So because the ball's down here now, what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to get my pelvis and my shoulders off the ground so that all of the weight of my upper body is on the ball. And for a lot of you doing this, you won't be able to handle that the first few times you do it. You just won't be able to put that much weight on the ball, but that's okay. You do what you can do. And so here I'm holding onto my legs and just getting the weight in that ball there. Oh, whew. And so because the lat is such a culprit for shoulder pain, I really work all the way down the lat like that. And then I also get up into the upper part here of the lat. And I try and get a few trigger point releases here as well. This doesn't feel as painful today. And honestly, doing this daily, when you've had a slap tear or a traumatic shoulder injury, has been really, really beneficial for me, really good. And sometimes you can bruise yourself. And you'll probably know if you've bruised yourself by the way it feels the next day. And if you do bruise yourself, don't push in the same spot again until that bruise goes away. Oh, that's a good one. Right up there. And you can move your arm through a bit of internal and external rotation as well when you come up to this position. Okay. And now we're also even getting into the rotator cuff. Oh my God. Woo! Oh, that is something else. And you just keep moving around until you find those spots. And then what you can do as well, you can get right up here onto the traps as well. And you really got to get up to get on the traps because you got to get the angle. And it's all about finding the angle where you can apply pressure to those muscles. And this one, I won't do this in this video, but what you can do for the traps, you can actually use a door frame. So if you imagine if there was a door frame here and I'd stand up for this, but you put the ball here, if that's the side of the door, and this is the door where you walk through, and your head goes through the door, so you can apply pressure like that, and you can do that all up and down there. That's really good. Do that as well. And then I'll also do around the front of my chest. So you just move around your chest and try, oh, there we go. So you'll find these spots that are sore and you just try and push as much weight into the ball as you can handle. You can't see exactly where I'm doing it, of course, but that's the point. It isn't an exact spot. When I was getting this done by my sports physio friends and I was saying, are you pressing the pec minor there, or are you doing the pec major, or is it a particular part? And he said, no, I'm just pushing around in the chest until I find a tight spot. And then that's where I go. And that's from one of Australia's top sports physios. And he used to make my shoulder just feel incredible after a treatment. I'd go in there with, really restricted range of motion and a lot of pain and discomfort when I tried to do certain movements, and I'd walk out just feeling absolutely incredible. All right, a bit of spine waves now. I was very slack with my spine mobility last year. I basically didn't do any at all because I was really prioritizing muscle hypertrophy. So I want to start doing a bit more this year because it's so good for you. And what I was working on the year before last was more advanced waves than this, but I'm going to just start again with just a basic spine wave because I'm struggling to articulate the movement at the moment. And I'm behind on time today as well. I got a meeting in an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to cut it there. If you guys want to fix a lot of shoulder pain and discomfort, Start hanging daily. So good for you. I do what you're about to see me do, this hanging routine I do every day. So I do 3 different types of hanging. And this is definitely an intermediate level of hanging that I'm doing. There's more advanced stuff than what I'm doing, but there's also more beginner stuff. But this is where you start. Passive hang is where everybody starts. And if you can't do it with your feet off the ground like I'm doing it, then you do with your feet on the ground, so you're only taking some of the weight in your arms. Or if you can do it with your feet off the ground but you can only do it for 10 seconds, then you do 6 sets of 10 seconds, that's fine. Okay. So my next exercise is hip rotations, but I'm just going to warm up my hips first because I just realized I didn't do any squat hip openers. And this is such a good exercise to do before any sort of straddle or middle splits work. Okay. I have to shave my calluses down again. They're getting problematic again. Especially on the left hand. I didn't get enough chalk either. My pull-up bar's a bit wet from all the moisture from the rain. It's just the moisture's come up. All right, now for my nemesis, the diagonal stretch. My hip flexors are pretty bloody sore from all that compression strength yesterday. Pretty brutal. Woo! Oh, man. All right, I just shaved my calluses off, so let's see if it makes any difference. The left side is much more painful at the moment. All right, if I can do 4 reps of my active passive hang transitions today, I'm going to be happy. So let's see. Oh man, those calluses are really causing me grief today. Just going to do some assisted ones. Woo. Oh, it's all fingers. Fingers are killing me today. Alright, this is one of my primary flexibility movements for my shoulder flexion. Very challenging on my bad shoulder. I've had slap tears in both shoulders, but the right one is way worse. And so it's just been the lats on my right arm have been much harder to develop flexibility in again. So this is really tough. Oh man, elbows are coming apart. Oh. Alright, I'm going to do one more round of that today, but because I'm short of time, I'm not going to film it. I'm just going to get it done and then go into my handstands so I can save some time. Oh, I stuffed that one up. Used up too much energy. I'm failing it the first time around. No, this one's really hard. Because I'll put marks on the floor if I do it on that floor. No. No, I'm not strong enough. That's why it's hard for me. It's not the floor. That's because I'm weak in that position. And also it's a really hard flexibility for me as well. I don't have good external rotation in the hips. And this move kills me. And I haven't done it for over a year, so I'm doing it again because I got to get better at it. And believe it or not, that was better than I was at it. Because I've spent a lot of time strengthening my straight arm strength, which is a big part of this. Okay, come on. Oh. Oh man. Oh, this stuff really uncovers your weak links. It's not easy. When my teacher does this, he makes it look so easy. Okay.